There's been a ton of hype surrounding Mortal Kombat 1, and people were really hopeful NetherRealm would take some of the criticisms from 11 and go into this title trying to hone in on what people really love with the franchise, but it seems like they're continuing the trend of masculinizing and ultimately making female characters look less attractive because the internet has been set ablaze debating over Tanya's new look. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media so that you can see when my content is posted, and of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So as you can see, I've already got one of the pictures up on screen, but on the left is the new design of Tanya, and people have been debating over this for days at this point because, of course, she looks very masculinized compared to the older versions of her. That you can see right here. I mean, she used to look very, very sexy, very feminine, and they changed basically everything about her. Now, I'm all for, new designs for characters, whether it is, their bodies or their costumes, haircuts. It doesn't really matter, right? Ultimately, every single character is going to face alterations going into a new version of them, but they made her look so drastically different. It's almost insane. It's as insane as the changes we saw to females in Mortal Kombat 11, and I had talked about all of those. I mean, look at the way they made Jade look. She doesn't look the worst out of all of the female characters, but they definitely, changed her facial structure quite a bit. They gave her pretty mediocre hairstyles, and then you had Scarlet. Oh, Scarlet just looked terrible. It didn't matter which haircut you used on her. Just the way that the makeup is and the face shape. I mean, she just looked terrible. Overall, one of the worst looking female characters I've seen in games in a while, and now headed into Mortal Kombat 1, there were people really hopeful that they would take the criticism that they faced for those female characters in 11, and that they wouldn't do that in MK1, and it looks like they are, because this is the brand new Tanya. I mean, she looks so vastly different. This hairstyle just isn't really all that good. It doesn't even seem all that cohesive. Just the way that they, changed her facial structure and made it look so angled. She just looks kind of fake as well. Like, those cheeks just don't look correct, and they took away any, it seems, kind of ounce of femininity that she had, and now people are roasting it online. This is a which way modern gamer moment if there ever was one. Yeah, I mean, she definitely does not look great. Western game devs have been here. How can you tell? Ugly women. It's sad to see this happen, and not every character needs to be a thin supermodel bombshell, but it's like they've gone to the extreme opposite. And yes, this does remind me a lot of the Fable situation recently. The actress they modeled the protagonist we saw is far prettier in real life. They took the character, dumbed her down, and expected people to not notice or call them out on it. Also, look at Frey from Forspoken. I see her little image here. The actress they modeled her after is also so much better looking. It's crazy. It is an insult to these women and an insult to players. We have heard these developers admit they've toned down females intentionally, like we aren't allowed to enjoy pretty women, or like they don't exist and they shouldn't. A lot of players and Mortal Kombat fans will come out and say, oh, it doesn't matter what the character looks like, it only matters how she plays, and that the mechanics of the character are solid, but they just don't understand what's going on here, or they're turning a blind eye to it because they're mega fans. If it didn't matter, then why change them so drastically? Their original designs were put into the game for a reason. Games are more than just the way they play, but their aesthetics artwork, music, those are all so important too. If mechanics were the only things that mattered, then just use stick figures. Just make them all different colored sticks. The point is that the way they look does matter, and they are literally desexualizing these characters. They are erasing femininity from the game because clearly this character has been given a lot of masculine traits, and that's by design because their aim is to remove what they believe is the over-sexualization of women in games, which is complete and utter bullshit. Sage D Gamer said, NetherRealm really wants me to believe that this is Tanya. Boy, Mortal Kombat has completely fallen off. She looks like a dude I used to go to football practice with. She really just looks terrible, in my opinion. And there are so many people saying this too. To be honest, Mortal Kombat fell off after MK3. People saying things like, yeah, this just really isn't good. You're kind of right. And there are people, defending the way that she looks. And if you like her new design, that's great. That's fine. If you think that she looks awesome, that's cool. But I'm also allowed to not like the way she looks, and other people are not allowed to like the way that she looks. There's also this tweet thread saying, don't let Twitter gaslight you into thinking that you're racist for not liking Tanya's new design. And this is something we have seen time and time again. This is the 2023 angle because, if you dislike her, you are a racist. This happens with every form of entertainment now because they can't actually accept the fact that people are always going to have different tastes and like and dislike vastly different things. And like I mentioned, back with MK11, they intentionally toned down the visual nature of the female fighters, and this is why I'm not going to give NetherRealm a chance. I'm going to call them out when I see problems like this because they haven't cared about what their fans have wanted in the past. It says certain fighting game series don't have the best reputation when it comes to how certain things look, especially when it comes to the female fighters. I'm sorry, when I'm playing a fighting game, I want to see attractive females. That shouldn't be a bad thing. The art director for MK11, Steve Barron, talked with Polygon about this and noted that when it comes to fighting games, you're going to be wearing a lot of clothing. I think it is rich that they go on about realism, and they say that, our design is just getting more mature and respectful. You're not going to wear a bikini to a fight. You're not going to be showing so much skin. Characters wouldn't be wearing such scantily clad items, but we're talking about a game and a series where you fatality people. You crush their skulls with your feet and your hands. You kick them into another dimension. You tear them apart. That isn't realistic either. Okay, you can't say you want more realism for one aspect, but then also say it's okay to not have realism with other aspects. It's sad to see what they've done not only to Tanya, but females in general in the Mortal Kombat franchise recently. Maybe she's just a one of in this game, and as we see more of them in this title, they'll look great, but right now it is not looking good for Mortal Kombat 1. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.